Welcome back, Patriots. We're looking at yesterday's White House press briefing where our Wonder Woman, Jacqui Heinrich of Fox News, utterly destroys the White House. Jacqui is at her best here. Watch this line of questioning. Let's roll it.
Okay, Jacqui.
Hey, Karine. Is the administration coming around to the idea that physical border barriers work?
Can you say more? Where's this? What do you mean? Where's this coming from?
Well, it's been 6 weeks since you guys won a Supreme Court case that would have allowed you to remove razor wire at the Texas border that you guys argued there's an emergency, immediate need to take down, but it's still up. So DHS hasn't touched it. Why is it still up?
I mean, you have to speak to the Department of DHS, obviously. I just don't have anything for you on that. We were very clear about what we thought about those wires. Obviously, DOJ took action. I just don't have anything on timeline of those coming down. I'm sure they'll have more for you on that.
And the president said at the border yesterday that it's long past time to act. Heard all of your previous answers on executive orders, but the president took 94 or so executive actions in his first 100 days that largely loosened immigration policy. One of those was narrowing who ICE could remove. And the administration, as of yesterday, I believe, is now calling on sanctuary cities to cooperate with ICE. So why doesn't the president act like he said it's time to do and start undoing some of those policies that he put in place right when he got into office?
So I think a couple of things. Since day one, the president took action. He did. He put forth a
Jacqui, she's a broken record. You stunned her. She doesn't know how to answer it. You stunned her on the first question. She couldn't even remember what DHS stood for. Hell of a job. Just watch this. Oh, we're not done yet. Jacqui is just laying the groundwork right now, bringing up the idea of executive action. Watch how this plays in a little bit later.
Comprehensive immigration policy, and he did that because he understood what was happening, right? He understood that the immigration system was broken. He understood that we needed to take action, and he did. 3 years, and during those 3 years, Republicans got in the way. Any resources, any additional resources that we asked for, they voted down. They didn't want to move forward with it, and so the president tried to do the best that he can with what he was able to get, and we get to a point at the end of the year where we start negotiating with Republicans and Democrats in the Senate. We come up with a piece of legislation, a proposal that is supported by the the Border Patrol, right, union. That's supported by U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I mean,
just a question, and something we've never actually proposed here on the show, is if the Republicans are getting in the way now, who was getting in the way, one, when Joe Biden entered office, when Democrats had all three branches of government for like a year and a half, maybe heck, 2 years. But the question we've never proposed is, if Republicans are getting in the way now, were Democrats getting in the way when Donald Trump was in office, when he wanted to build a border wall? That's somebody should ask her and see how she answers that. I'm sure we won't get an answer, but it's still a great question nonetheless.
We took action. We have taken action over and over and over again, and Republicans reject it. They get in the way.
Immigration overhaul versus narrow action that he could take to secure the border, improve the situation that we're seeing ravaging communities.
We took action at the end of last year, worked with Republicans in the Senate, Democrats in the Senate, came up with a bipartisan agreement that
just want to call out, they're saying they took action towards the end of last year in December. Shattered records. United States history has never seen over 300,000 illegal aliens crossing or being apprehended at the border, or at least encountered at the border, rather. Shattered records for December. Never seen anything like it. So, no, she's blatantly lying right here.
That would actually make a difference. I mean, it's Congress's job to legislate. It is their job to
and it's your job to execute the laws on the books of what you're not doing.
Legislate.
You're afraid of legal challenges with things like student loans.
Here's the thing.
You used executive orders when you wanted to.
We have taken.
That is the bombshell. That was the 1-2 punch knockout. Lay the groundwork for, hey, do walls work? Do borders work? Kind of starting off soft and then bringing up in the next line of questioning executive action. President has the authority to do it. Why won't he do it? She gives us all this cockamamie answer like a broken record. Oh, first day of legislation. Republicans are getting in the way. All these things. Then she just knocks her out right here. well, you're willing to use executive action on student loan debt. Why are you not willing to utilize it on the border for our national security? There is no way she can answer this, meaning not Jacqui Heinrich, Karine Jean-Pierre, without showing a line of hypocrisy. There's no way out of this. It is the perfect question, and Jacqui Heinrich is at her best right now.
In action over the last 3 years on the border, we've taken policy action. We have taken action. The president has. Now we need to get it into a place where we can actually make a real difference on the border challenges that we're seeing, and we did. I mean, this is Republicans getting in the way because of what they were told by the former president. That's shameful. That is. You know, we're talking about the American people getting things done for the American people. Majority of the Americans care about this issue. They care. So the president worked across the aisle to get a piece of a proposal done that was negotiated in a bipartisan way that's getting support from organizations that you would never dream would support.
He's shaming people for not acting. He's also not acting.
I'm so sorry. That is so false. He has taken action. He has taken action. Republicans rejected it because of the last president. That is not what is going on here. It isn't. I mean, they told on themselves. Republicans told on themselves and said that the former president told them to not move forward with the bipartisan border patrol deal.
So
they told on themselves.
Executive action he can take.
We're saying that the best way to move forward is legislation. That's with any issue.
It's so you heard it. You heard it. Listen.
That the best way to move forward is legislation. That's with any issue. The best way to.
Interesting. Legislation is the best way to move forward with any issue, but yet when it comes to student loan debt forgiveness, of which the Supreme Court struck down that you weren't allowed to use it because it was an overstep of the executive branch, you're just going to bypass it and start forgiving student loans once again, utilizing executive action. So when it fits the narrative, when it fits what you want to do as a party, because basically you want to buy votes, you know, we'll go ahead and use the executive action. But when you don't want to use it because it goes against the narrative, it goes against what the president wants to do, you're not going to use it. So see the contradiction? This the sheer hypocrisy coming from this lady right here is insane. Jacqui Heinrich pigeonholed her. There's no way she can get out of it. And so she's going to sit there and say a bunch of baloney and expect us to believe it. I don't think so.
To move forward is legislation. Put that into law. And we have a bipartisan agreement that would do that. By the way, the bipartisan agreement, that border deal, has provisions in there that these House Republicans want. These congressional Republicans have been asking for years. So what's the problem? What's the problem?
The problem is that majority of the funding actually goes to Ukraine, Israel, Gaza, humanitarian aid for other nations, rather than the majority of it going to actually our own borders, which is Americans' hard-earned tax dollars. I'm not saying other people shouldn't get money to support and help them in humanitarian aid, but that's the problem. It's because a lot of this funding isn't the border security for the United States, it's border security for Ukraine and other nations. That's the problem, Karine. Very easy answer, but she wants to sit there and act dumb like we don't know what's going on, and you know Americans are stupid and all these other things, which we're not, but that's how she's going to treat us.
Is it politics or is it the American people? That's for them to answer.
Phenomenal question by Jacqui. We all know Jacqui catches a glimpse of the show every now and then. Jacqui, you are at your best right now. That was a phenomenal lineup. You sat there and formulated a question and a sequence of questions that shows the hypocrisy of the White House. And you got them to say, and I would use this for the next couple weeks, hey, you should use the legislative branch to sit there and create laws, and Congress should act. That's the best way of doing it, not executive action. Question, then why do you keep trying to push through executive action on student loan debt forgiveness and don't move forward with the legislation on that idea? But you want legislation when it comes to the border, but you don't want to use executive action on the border. She's not going to have an answer. She can't do it. You completely destroyed and shellacked this White House. Well, folks, that's Jacqui Heinrich of Fox News. Make sure you give her some love in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, heck, give us a like and subscribe. If you enjoyed our channel, think about becoming a member right over here. With that being said, folks, I'll see you later here on The Paul Brad Show.